Do you think you know who WWE's Masked Man is? Well, here's 5 pitches for who that Masked Man will be and what will happen with him moving forward. How's it going, everybody? I'm Casey Cameron. Welcome back to Leg Slapper, and yes, that is right, we're talking about the infamous Masked Man, the guy who ran in the main event at Survivor Series, in the main event in War Games, took out the champion CM Punk, giving Braun Breaker the win, and doing it in very Seth Rollins-esque style. Now, as of right now, we don't actually officially know who is under this mask. We don't know if this is one person or a group of people. We don't know if this is Seth Rollins. We don't know anything. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care what the performer looked like, their body shape looked like under the mask, under all the clothes. I don't really care about that. What matters is the final reveal, who the person ends up actually being. Because realistically, if WWE wants, they could have someone of different shape and size every single time do the run-in just to confuse people, only to let people know it was this one person that entire time. So with that understood, let's get into these 5 pitches that I think will go on for the Masked Man. Number 1, the Masked Man is actually multiple Masked Men and is going to be used to bolster the numbers of the Division, creating one of the scariest modern stables. Because I mean, think about it. Let's say you threw in a Austin Theory. Let's say you threw in a Carmelo Hayes. Let's say you threw in a Montez Ford. Let's say you even threw in LA Knight. Think about the size of that group. Yes, all of those performers are incredibly different, but if the one thing that unites them all together is a drive to be the vision for the future, to be the people who will lead the company in the future, I think for all of those people, their motivation actually makes perfect sense to be a part of the group. Even better, you could swerve the audience altogether. If you really wanted, all of these new members could actually genuinely be aligned with Seth Rollins, so that when Seth Rollins is ready to return, and we're ready to have the, now Seth Rollins has to go up against the Division, this beast of a faction that he created, that he was tossed out of. He now has to contend with it if he wants to get his world championship back. But what if all those new additions were Seth Rollins guys? What if Seth is going to open up his new own faction? He's going to have his own crew of guys, and we're going to do the Vision again. Yes, WWE literally could just run the Vision storyline again, but do it on their terms. I mean, think about it. Look at the success that the Vision was. Yes, has the Vision been a little boring week to week? Yes, but is Braun a big deal? Is Bronson a big deal? Has Logan Paul felt like a big deal walking around with him? I would argue, yeah. So yeah, I do think you could have Seth Rollins come in and just run the same story back, but do it the way they actually planned to do it, with an entire different group of people. This way, you can actually extend it. You could have a faction versus faction feud. You could have who is the real menace of WWE, or maybe Seth's group is virtuous this time. There's so many cool little things you could do to re-involve Seth Rollins, to re-involve a lot of younger guys into this storyline, to have younger guys be paired with the veterans so that they can learn and become even better than they already are. I think this would be a really, really fun pivot and a really cool swerve to come all the way back around and to let people know that Seth Rollins is still the architect. He's still the guy thinking 10 steps ahead of everybody. Number 2, and we're gonna stick with there being multiple masked men, there are multiple masked people who very clearly are different people. They come out, they interfere in matches, nobody knows what's going on, who they are, or why they're doing what they're doing. But eventually, one of the people grabs a mic and lets everybody know that the reason they're doing what they're doing is because soon the world will come to an end. That's right, baby. We are bringing back Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho seems like he is destined to be headed back to the WWE in the near future, and oh man, how cool would it be if Chris Jericho's reintroduction to the WWE was by creating his own faction of younger guys who he can have do the majority of the legwork around him while he's just taking credit. And if these are guys who actually have reverence for Chris Jericho, actually believe that he is the guy, then we can do, again, the Vision story again, but instead of a group of traitorous people, we have people who just love Chris Jericho, who are just, they have to do what he says because he is a legend. You do this, you've got Chris Jericho as the head of this, he can oversee a group of younger guys, they can feud with the Vision, they can feud with the Judgment Day, they could feud with the Wyatt Six. There's a lot that you could do here, especially if you make it clear that with Jericho returning, he's this kind of super villain or like super good guy, depending, and he can go on either show and do whatever he wants. Have Jericho run roughshod, and he could even do it in a virtuous way, and that could be an interesting story to tell too. Give Chris Jericho a faction. I think that'd be really fun. Pitch number 3, reveal the Masked Man. It could be Austin Theory, but then after each Masked Man is revealed, there is a new Masked Man, or even a new Masked masked woman. The idea here is actually that these masked people are not part of the vision. They came out there to take out CM Punk, sure, but the goal there was that this new group of young upstarts doesn't like the veterans. They want to take out the veterans. They are done with them. They've been in the spotlight for too long. This group, their entire motivation is everything that the online wrestling community says. Give the younger guys a chance. The older guys don't need it. And that is exactly what this faction's mentality should be. We're a group of younger guys. They shouldn't have they should have barely accomplished anything at this point in their career. And they should just be like, look, we're younger guys. We're just as good as them. We're better than them. So we're going to come in and we're going to take their spots. And we're going to do everything that we can to do that. That way, yes, you can literally address that criticism from the internet. Now, again, I don't think you necessarily have to do this, but it would be fun. Yeah, here's a great way to push a bunch of younger guys in a meaningful way. Just, oh my God, do not do what you did with the Nexus, with the Core, with all of them. You guys absolutely wasted Justin Gabriel and Wade Barrett. My goodness, those guys, so good. This way you can have a group of people and you can actually involve some women in the storyline as well, because I think factions are generally stronger when they have female members, because it brings a whole new dimension to the group. Now, what about pitch number 4 here? And this one gets a little weird, because what if the man under the mask ends up being revealed to be LA Knight? Yeah. Now, I know you might be thinking LA Knight works great as a babyface. He's super over with the fans, and that's great. But you know what we have for LA Knight is a butt ton of motivation for him to turn heel. And if the whole idea is we are the vision, we are the future of the WWE, why wouldn't LA Knight want to be a part of that? LA Knight has been trying to do things the right way. He has been trying to win matches, but he's being screwed over by people like the Vision. Well, so what happens if you can't beat the Vision? You become the Vision. Think about how insane it would be for the reveal to happen. That mask comes off. It is LA Knight, and he cuts one of the most scathing promos in WWE history, where he's trashing the management. He's trashing the decision makers, the bookers, the story. He is trashing everybody, because he's letting everybody know he has had his chances. He was there, and everybody else around him took his chances from him. I think LA Knight could be an incredibly unique and really, really fun person to add to the Vision. And number 5, what if Randy Orton's creating a new faction? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? We haven't really had much for Randy Orton. Randy Orton's been off TV for a little while. What if we use this new masked man, these masked attackers, if there are multiple of them, to reintroduce Randy Orton to the fold? It would be really cool to see this guy who is in the veteran status of his career, so he is inherently going to be cheered, come back and just, you know, he's cool. He's just normal Randy Orton, normal as ever. We're not gonna connect him with the masked group until it's time to finally do that. And what do we do with that? Well, Randy Orton, maybe now he wants to go for the world championship, and maybe now he's got his group of guys and he's gonna let them know, hey, we're going for Cody, we're gonna make Cody's life hell, and this is gonna be a ton of fun. And you could even try and pick people that have a past with Cody Rhodes. Now, I know I am kind of swapping the storyline from Raw to SmackDown, but we don't really have a clear look on what's gonna be going on. We don't even know if they continue to expand the Vision, if they're gonna continue to show on both Raw and SmackDown. So imagine it. This group has nothing to do with the Vision. It has nothing to do with anything. The whole reason we had this masked man run in and attack CM Punk instead of, say, Cody Rhodes in this instance is because Randy Orton's like, look at all these guys, that everything everybody did, I was here. I was always here. Look at these guys at the top. They were not. Look at Cody Rhodes, my young protege who ended up leaving the company because he couldn't hack it. I gave him all the tools to succeed and he couldn't do it. So he had to leave. CM Punk, he had everything. He was at the top and he threw a fit and he had to leave. So now we have Randy Orton, who his whole motivation is, I'm protecting the WWE from these people who have been in it as a poison for too long, and just have him be this twisted heel who's just like, no, these people, they have to go by any means, and this is what we're doing. And of course, if Randy Orton is against Cody Rhodes and he's got a group, how good is that match gonna be? You could even swap it, reverse it. You can make Randy and his group the baby faces and Cody the heel. There's a ton you could do with this. That's why there's these 5 pitches. There's so much more that you could do with the reveal of a masked man. Have it be Montez Ford, like I said. Have it be Carmelo Hayes. Have it be Oba Femi. Have it be Trick Williams. Have it be Tony D'Angelo. I didn't really love any of the family stuff or the Don stuff, whatever you want to say. I didn't love any of that, but maybe it's Tony D'Angelo. Who knows? There is so much that could be done here. That's why people are so interested interested in this and they want to know what's going on. I'm hoping that they actually draw this story out for a while. I'm hoping we don't see this masked attacker return for like a month or so. That's basically all I got for you. Tell me, what do you think is going to happen with this masked attacker? I think often the simplest answer is the most likely. I do feel that it will just be Austin Theory. He probably will help Braun win the title from Punk. Then he probably will join the Division, and then he probably will enter the tag division with Bronson Reed, and I'm sure they'll get the tag titles at some point. But what do you think? Tell me what you think. Tell me who you think the Masked Man will be. Tell me if you think it'll be more than one person, and tell me what you're hoping for from this story, because I want to hear what you want to get out of this story. Are you hoping it turns into a new group? Do you just want new members in the Vision? Do you want a complete different swerve? Tell me in the comments down below. I can't wait to hear. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. I've been Casey Cameron, and I will see you in the next video.